I'm Todd Myers, Vice President for Research of the Washington Policy Center. And normally at this time we do a legislative wrap-up, but since there's only 2 days left in the legislative session, we thought we would save that for Monday. But I did want to highlight a few good and problematic things that has happened in this last week. One of the great things is that we turned in 28,000 signatures to the governor's office asking him to do a no new taxes budget. So he has already said that he wouldn't sign some of the taxes that have been proposed by the legislative Democrats. So that's great news. We want to encourage him to go all the way. We don't need new taxes, so we turned those in. Thanks to everyone who signed up for that. The other thing that we highlighted is the need for the governor to use his line item veto power to veto emergency clauses in a number of different bills. So for instance, the bill overturning the Parents' Bill of Rights and another bill adding a tax to Tesla credits. Both of those have emergency clauses, and the only reason they have emergency clauses is because it makes it more difficult to have a referendum clause on that. If a bill has an emergency clause, then you have to get an initiative which requires twice the number of signatures. That's the only reason that the legislature put those emergency clauses on there, is to make it more difficult for the public to have their say. And of course, obviously, they know that if the public does have their say, the chances are more likely that those bills will be overturned, especially the Parents' Bill of Rights, House Bill 1296, which the legislature did pass this week. It is now on the governor's desk to sign. They know, with hundreds of thousands of people signing a petition initially to create that Parents' Bill of Rights, that the chances that their changes, which take away notification from parents, which allow schools to take students, children, minors off of campus without telling parents, they know that the public doesn't want that, the parents don't want that, and so they're trying to block it. They're trying to block the ability of parents to have a say on that. Another piece of legislation that passed this week is an increase in gas taxes, a 6 cents per gallon. This comes on top of a strengthening of the low carbon fuel standard, which will also increase gas prices over the next year. And it comes on top, of course, of the CO2 tax. Washington State already has the third highest gas tax in the country. This would keep us still third, but much closer to Pennsylvania and California, the only two states that have higher gas tax. And it would increase diesel taxes by 12 cents a gallon. And of course, diesel is a fuel that is used to transport goods. So, I mean, that will filter down through the economy. So a lot of really tough, bad pieces of legislation, increases in taxes that we're going to see. We still haven't seen a budget. So they're still negotiating. So we'll see what comes out of that. If they can't get that done by midnight on Sunday night, then we will go into a special session. So midnight Sunday is when we will know what comes next. Stay tuned all weekend to see what happens on the budget front and with other last-minute bills passing through the legislature. And tune back in on Monday when we will give you the rundown on what happened during the legislative session. There was a lot of very frustrating, very bad things that happened, but there were some good things. So it's not all bad. But we will see you on Monday. Thanks so much.
If you found this informative, share it with a friend and consider checking out one of our suggested videos over here. Make sure you're subscribed so that you can stay up to date with the latest policy news from Washington.